You're not overpaying because you splurge, you're overpaying because the store scripted it. Today, we expose the 4 freshness tricks that drain your cart without you noticing. Let's start with the sale sign that isn't a sale, the pre-cut fruit that costs 2 to 3 times more per ounce, the loaf that looks fresh but was frozen, and shrinkflation that trims ounces while the price stands still.
Exactly according to plan. Nutritionist Laura Nemes says grocers do a lot to get more of your money beyond putting candy at the front. Placement matters. Pre-sliced cheese in the milk section can be half the price of freshly cut cheese at the deli counter. And there's a reason all those variations of Oreos and Cheerios dominate the actual aisles. Take the large displays on the end of every aisle.
Look, not always are they good buys, but it's placed there to entice you to purchase.
You'll learn how to spot each one in seconds and keep your money and your health from getting sliced thin. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
Stocking up on groceries, especially around days when families gather like today. 10 News consumer reporter John Horn shows us how increasingly some stores are making that a challenge.
Christy Neal says it happens to her, especially when her kids see the sugary treats at the checkout line.
More characters, more colors, sounds, lights, put the toys up front.
Ever come out of a place like that and realized you've spent way too much? It's because the grocery stores know how to get you to shell out that extra cash. But you can be armed with ways to keep yourself from overspending the next time you go grocery shopping.
You see it in one lap of the store, a bright sale tag on the shelf, a neat little melon cup on ice, a warm loaf that smells like a hug, and your go-to cereal at the same price. So why does the total climb? Let's start with the 4-part con that hides in plain sight. False sales, overpackaged produce, bakery bait, and shrinkflation. The playbook is simple. Each touch point is dressed to help you. The label shouts savings. The plastic cup says no mess. The bread is warm. The cereal box looks unchanged. That feeling is the point. It lowers your guard just long enough to tip your budget. False sales come first because they set the tone. Stores raise the base price ahead of a promo, then mark it down to look generous. You get a deal that is often worse than last week's regular price. A classic move: buy one, get one offer that totals more than 2 at the old shelf price. The math is legal. The effect is misleading. This feeds on the reference price effect. When you see a high was price, the new number looks fair. You anchor to the fake starting line. Loyalty tags play along, comparing your member price to an inflated base.
And as for candy at the front, Nemes says there are much better buys waiting for you in the actual candy aisle far back from the checkout line. It's harder to spot the smaller, more affordable brands.
The more shelf space they have, the more the consumers will see their products, which leads to more purchase.
The Senate examined supermarket pricing, calling on his experience working for suppliers dealing with the big grocers. They'll have their say.
Feels like a perk. It is often a mirage. Now the produce case. That tidy $6 melon cup looks like time saved. But ounce for ounce, you are paying steak money for fruit. A whole melon at $2 or $3 yields pounds of flesh once you cut away the rind. Do the per ounce math on the shelf label and the cup loses the glow. You also trade freshness. Once fruit is cut, vitamin loss starts and water leaks out.
Sky-high grocery bills are inflicting pain at the supermarket checkout counter. Food at home prices in 2022 jumped 11.4% and are expected to increase 5% in 2023.
One of the biggest drivers for Walmart's grocery business today is ironically inflation. As prices have gone up for a lot of items, not just food, but housing, more customers across incomes are turning to its stores.
By comparison, prices rose just 0.7% in 2019. In an effort to stretch their grocery dollars further, a growing number of Americans are turning to Walmart's. The Arkansas-based retailer is America's largest grocer, more than twice the size of its next biggest competitor.
The longer it sits in that lid-sweaty cup, the softer and duller it gets. If the cup was packed hours ago in a busy prep room, you add a time-on-shelf risk that whole produce avoids. One small swap proves it. A shopper grabs a whole cantaloupe instead of one fruit cup, takes it home, and slices it with a small knife. Cost per serving drops fast. Taste goes up. Leftovers go in a container you own instead of the landfill cup that you paid extra to throw away.
Inflation is having an impact, particularly for those that don't have as much money. So we see them behaving in different ways, but we're also attracting a lot of new customers to come to our stores, to our app, to our website. Higher income families are shopping at Walmart because they're so price sensitive right now.
Known for its low prices and massive footprint, Walmart takes in more than 1 in 4 grocery dollars in the U.S., a 1.5% increase from 2021. Walmart's low prices are also resonating with high-income consumers.
When we think about the grocery landscape over the next 5 and 10 years, we see increasingly middle America and affluent America shifting some of their shopping basket over to Walmart.
Now let's move on to the fresh loaf. Many in-store loaves are par-baked, then frozen, then finished in the oven. The sign that says "Bake Today" is technically true because they reheated it today, not because they mixed flour, water, and yeast on site. To cover for time in the freezer, some formulas lean on added sodium, sugar glazes, and preservatives that help color and chew. The result looks rustic and smells great at 5 p.m., but it stales fast at home and leaves you paying a premium for theater. Shrinkflation is the quiet cousin. The front of the box looks the same, the price holds, but the ounces slip. A ridge is shaved off a bar. A handful goes missing from a bag. Shelf tags often highlight the per-item price, not the per-ounce number, so your eye lands on a familiar total while the value erodes. This is why your cart feels lighter and your bill does not. So what do you do in the aisle without turning every trip into homework? Use a 1-minute field test. First, look at the unit price per ounce or per pound on the tag, not the big promo font. That simple line tells you which size and format actually wins. Second, flip the bread. Read the ingredient list and find the date codes. If it lists glazes, extra sweeteners, or a long additive train, it is probably a reheated loaf dressed up to pass as scratch. Third, check your promo math against a prior receipt or a saved note in your phone. If a deal totals higher than your memory of last week's 2-for, skip it. You do not need to fight the whole store. 1 check per stop pays. 1 swap from a cup to a whole fruit beats the price creep and slashes waste. And when that warm loaf winks at you, you might want to grab the simple, bagged option with fewer add-ons and let the staged glow fade. The real kicker is simple. Fresh signals are staged to fatten margins. When you switch to unit price math and pick whole produce, you pay less and often eat better. 1 habit beats the hype. Try 1 swap this week. Skip 1 deal sign, 1 fruit cup, 1 reheated loaf, and tell us what your receipt looked like. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone. Stay sharp. Small checks at the shelf beat big regrets at the register. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets. Now watch how fast your totals drop.